Dana Gas is the UAE's largest publicly listed gas company, and it's also got assets though in Kurdistan and in Egypt. Now the company has had a pretty good run so far, significant production growth in the last few quarters. Well, joining me now is the CEO, Patrick Allman-Ward. A good run of figures. Are you going to be able to keep that momentum up?
Thank you, Nigel. Yes, we are very encouraged actually by the asset base that we have in Egypt, particularly, which is where most of the growth has been coming from in the last few quarters. We have a number of opportunities in terms of yet undeveloped gas fields that we can bring on stream. And we have underdeveloped gas fields that we can invest in and increase production. One of the things that's been holding us back, in fact, is that the situation with respect to the receivables, the unpaid receivables in the country. And we have been balancing the collections that we've been able to make with the amount of investments that we've been carrying out in Egypt. Now that, of course, has limited the amount of investments we have been able to make. But I'm very pleased to say that we are in the final stages of making an agreement with the government whereby we as Dana Gas will be investing more money in projects in Egypt, and in return for that we will have a different mechanism for recovering the receivables through a condensate export mechanism, which will allow Dana Gas to get paid for its production through condensate sold onto the international market.
So as far as you're concerned, you know, that the political challenges that we're seeing in both Egypt and in Iraq and Kurdistan and the area where you are aren't really going to impact your bottom line?
No, I think that's fair to say that, absolutely. What I find encouraging about Egypt is the willingness of the Egyptian government to address win-win solutions and to think imaginatively and out of the box of ways in which they can get what they desperately need, which is increased production, and how through these different and new mechanisms they can also help the investing community in the petroleum sector to get what they need, which is to get paid for the product that they deliver.
So any moves to perhaps rebalance the portfolio? I mean, in terms of geography, but also I'm thinking in terms of, you've got very little oil at the moment.
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking at?
Absolutely. So we're thinking of rebalancing the portfolio on both aspects, both diversifying our political risk as well as the hydrocarbon mix. As you say, we are predominantly a gas company. We have currently producing about 78,000 barrels of oil a day equivalent, of which 68,000 is actually in the form of gas, and the remainder in the form of liquids. So we very much are interested in changing that mix a little bit. Obviously, gas is a more complex commodity with respect to bringing it to market, and the more fungible qualities of oil is also something which is attractive to us.
Yeah. And of course, we have seen a significant shift. You know, the Middle East, conventional hydrocarbons. Suddenly, the US have discovered unconventional hydrocarbons and shale gas and so on and so forth. Are there any opportunities that you see in that area?
Significant opportunities, particularly in the North Africa and the Middle Eastern area. I think the opportunities as far as the geology are certainly there. However, the shale gas revolution that's taken place in the United States took place there for a number of reasons, because there is a combination of elements that are necessary in order to be able to provide the right enabling environment for the necessary technical developments as well as the necessary commercial developments that need to happen in order to bring unconventional hydrocarbons to market. Now, I think what we're seeing is that the geology certainly exists in the Middle East and North Africa. There are certain components that are still not yet in place. Clearly, one of the challenges is infrastructure. The overabundance of infrastructure in North America versus the relatively infrastructure poor setting in the Middle East and North Africa. But I think that this is going to be addressed. There are technical solutions to that, and I think that unconventionals is going to be a very significant growth story for the region in the coming years.
But are you at Dana Gas going to actually have the technology, the talent and the equipment to be able to play a part in that revolution?
Not yet, but we are in discussions with people who certainly have all of that. We have, of course, the local knowledge and the local footprint, and we are discussing right now opportunities to team up with North American companies that have exactly what you say, the technology, the talent, to make this a success.
All right. Patrick Allman-Ward, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Nigel.